You've heard it 1,000 times. Skip the latte and you'll retire a millionaire. Cut the $5 coffee, brew it at home, and somehow that tiny sacrifice will snowball into kaifu, into real wealth. It sounds so simple, so satisfying, so doable. Which is exactly why it's one of the most repeated pieces of money advice on the internet. But here's the uncomfortable question. What if it's mostly wrong? What if focusing on your coffee habit is actually distracting you from the money mistakes that are really draining your bank account? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll never look at a coffee cup the same way again. Let's start with where this idea even came from. Back in the early 2000s, a financial author named David Bach coined the phrase, the latte factor. His argument was elegant. Small daily purchases, a coffee here, a snack there, feel invisible, but compounded over decades in the stock market, they could theoretically grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. And mathematically, in a spreadsheet, with a fixed return rate and zero real-world friction, sure, that math checks out. It became a viral idea because it turned an abstract, intimidating goal, build wealth, into something small and controllable, just skip the coffee. It gave people a sense of agency. But somewhere between that spreadsheet and your actual life, the story stopped matching reality. Here's the first crack in the myth. The latte factor assumes that the money you don't spend on coffee automatically gets invested consistently for 30 or 40 years without ever being touched, without inflation eating into it, without a single emergency expense along the way. In real life, that $5 saved on a Tuesday rarely turns into an index fund purchase. It usually just gets absorbed back into daily spending somewhere else. The myth isn't that small savings don't matter at all, it's that they're wildly overstated as the mechanism that actually builds wealth for most people. Now let's talk about the bigger issue, the one that gets buried under all this coffee talk. Proportion. Picture two receipts side by side. One is your coffee habit. Call it $100 a month. The other is your rent, your car payment, your insurance, your subscriptions you forgot you had. For most households, housing and transportation alone eat up over 50% of monthly income. 50%. Meanwhile, coffee, dining out, small treats, the stuff we're told to feel guilty about, usually adds up to less than 5%. So when personal finance content spends 90% of its energy on that 5% and almost none on the 50%, something's badly out of balance. It's like obsessing over a leaky faucet while ignoring a hole in the roof. And this is where the psychology gets interesting, because the latte factor isn't popular because it's the most effective advice. It's popular because it's the easiest advice to give and the easiest to feel good about following. Telling someone to negotiate their rent, refinance their car, or push for a raise at work is uncomfortable. It requires confrontation, paperwork, maybe some rejection. Telling someone to skip a coffee costs nothing but a little willpower, and it comes with an instant, visible reward. Look, I made my own coffee today. I'm being responsible. That feeling is real. But feeling responsible and actually moving your net worth are two very different things. There's also a quieter cost to this advice that doesn't show up in any spreadsheet: shame. When personal finance content fixates on small daily pleasures, it quietly teaches people that struggling financially is a personal discipline problem, a coffee problem, a willpower problem, rather than a structural one. It shifts the spotlight away from stagnant wages, rising rent, and expensive healthcare, and puts it squarely on your Tuesday morning treat. That's not empowering. That's misdirection dressed up as empowerment. Real financial progress rarely comes from micro-guilt over lattes. It comes from looking at the handful of large recurring numbers in your life and asking whether they actually serve you. So what should you look at instead? Housing costs. Is there room to negotiate, downsize, or refinance? Transportation. Is that car payment eating a bigger chunk of income than it should? Interest rates. Are you carrying credit card debt at 20% while worrying about a $4 espresso? Subscriptions and recurring fees that silently renew every month, invisible not because they're small, but because they're automatic. These are the categories where a single decision, made once, can save you more in a year than cutting coffee could save you in a decade. That's the real leverage point. Not daily willpower. Structural decisions made a few times that quietly compound in the background without needing constant effort. None of this means small habits are meaningless or that spending mindfully is bad advice. If cutting your coffee habit genuinely brings you joy or helps you feel more in control, that's completely valid. Keep doing it. But it's worth being honest about what it is. A feel-good ritual, not a wealth-building strategy. The myth isn't the coffee. The myth is the idea that tiny daily sacrifices are the main lever for financial security, when the real levers are almost always bigger, slower, and less glamorous. And to be clear, none of this is personalized financial advice. It's general education to help you think more critically about the money messages you see every day. Your own situation deserves its own careful look, ideally with real numbers and, if needed, a professional. So the next time you see a graphic online promising that skipping your coffee will make you rich, you'll know the real story. It's not that small choices don't matter. It's that we've been pointed at the smallest possible choice, the one that requires the least confrontation with the systems actually shaping our finances. In the next Money Myths episode, we're going to tackle another one of those seemingly harmless money rules, the idea that a good credit score always means good financial health, and why that assumption might be quietly costing people more than they realize. Until then, keep questioning the easy advice. The real answers are usually a little less convenient and a lot more powerful.